At its regular meeting Tuesday night, the Shenandoah City Council heard an emotional plea from both residents and police officers to reconsider its earlier vote rejecting an amendment to the city's police residency ordinance that would have allowed the city to hire an out-of-state officer on a part-time fill-in basis. By a 3-2 vote at its February 27th meeting, council members rejected the amendment, which was necessary in order to hire a part-time officer currently living in Omaha. Melissa Pelster recently launched a petition drive calling for the council's reconsideration, citing a March 2nd incident in which an officer was injured in an altercation while investigating a two-car accident. Pelster says additional officers are needed.
We have reserves. Our reserves do a great job of joining them and being available when they can. However, the reserves are just that. They're not made to fill shifts every week that he has somebody. Our police department is not a volunteer department, and we shouldn't treat it like it is. These officers put on that uniform every time they're scheduled and then when they're not. And they do it for no gain other than that they want to serve and protect this community. They don't go out, they don't try to target anybody. They're doing it because they want to make a difference.
Pastor Jack Langley has served as Shenandoah police chaplain for the past 10 years. Langley says hiring former Council Bluffs officer John Kubler would not only provide an additional certified officer, but also help alleviate scheduling issues.
There's a big difference between having 2 guys on duty than having 1. The officers know this, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong. When there's 1 officer on duty, he is limited on what he's capable of doing, because if there's an arrest, he has to take that prisoner to Clarinda, and Shenandoah is left unprotected. 2 officers on duty will allow for arrests to be a lot easier. It allows for an officer that needs assistance right away, for that to happen right away.
Councilman John Eric Bratner was one of 2 council members supporting the amendment at the February 27th meeting. He also voiced his support for reconsidering the amendment.
We shouldn't have to rely on someone driving by to keep the public and our officers safe. That's very upsetting to me. With that being said, there was another gun incident this weekend. That's 2 gun incidents in our community in 2 weeks. What are we arguing about?
Cindy Sturm was involved in that accident earlier this month. Calling for the council to prioritize police, Sturm answered comments from council members opposed to the amendment, questioning whether an out-of-state officer would frequent the community's businesses.
I appreciate that you are considering commerce and you are thinking about commerce in Shenandoah, but you've got your priorities mixed up. Without having the safe community that we all live in and want to continue to live in, without safety, commerce is irrelevant. It really doesn't matter, because you aren't going to have any.
I have supported the Shenandoah Police Department. And to watch what's happened the last 2 votes, whether it be the raise or this, has just been ridiculous. I don't care if I catch heck over it. We have to have a safe community, just like Cindy said. God, thank goodness they're here. And our officers are here.
A city administrator, A.J. Lyman, says it takes another agenda item and a public hearing in order for the council to reconsider their vote from last month. Mayor Roger McQueen says he intends to make sure that item is placed on a future agenda. For KMA News, I'm Mike Peterson.